So our good friend Parker Kligerman joining us right now here on NASCAR Daily. I have to give you a lot of credit. I think that when you climbed from that car this weekend on Saturday and you did that interview, I just, the way that you were so honest and relatable and just laid it all out there, Parker, I think I have to applaud you. How do you even encompass what that moment was like for you?
I think you said it, a lot of emotions. I just let it kind of talk in the moment. And that, for me, I didn't really, I just sort of let what I was feeling come out. And I think I'd done those interviews, as I said, from the other side. And I kind of felt what those drivers are feeling, right? And I kind of felt like I felt that. But in that moment, there's so many things going through your mind. You're angry, you're sad, you're disappointed. You feel like you had done this big thing and then it was taken away in some respects, right? You've been through the emotion, the high of, hey, I did it. We got it done. Let's go. And then there's the other side of, oh no, we didn't.
Yeah.
And now I've got to refocus and go do a restart and get back in the game. And then it's taken away. And so it's just raw, right? And I really appreciate all the people that have reached out. So many legends of the sport have reached out, which was so flattering. And so many people stopped me at the track yesterday that I was there, and just a lot of people gave me hugs. Some people were like, "Hey, it sounds like a funeral," and I was like, "Well, I didn't pass away, but it felt like I put everything on the line, and we did everything we should have, and everyone at Big Machine Racing rose up. Our pit crew had the best stop of their life, basically, with us. That last stop, that was probably the best 12 laps I've ever driven in my entire life. It was one of the most incredible, 12 laps I've ever experienced in terms of intensity and racing some of the best in the world and beating them. And so it was just the highs of highs and the lows of lows, but that's racing. That's why we love it. That's sports. I'm very flattered that so many people felt that journey and felt and came along with that journey with me. And were so kind and gracious in their comments. But yeah, it was definitely one of the tougher interviews I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, it was the heartbreak that we all felt with you, and you welcomed us in and let us feel that with you. Was there anger as well? Because I know when you deal with things like this, there are so many ranges of emotions that you kind of go through. And did you sit on that one at all?
Yeah, I mean, I was angry, right? But I think, I wasn't surprised, right? Because I've seen this happen in this sport. We've, and just think about, it's not just NASCAR. It's watching, for years, we watched the Andretti's try to win the Indy 500 again, and everything that could go wrong went wrong, right? And I'm not comparing an Xfinity race to the Indy 500, but what I'm saying is racing has that ability to give you almost like everything you've ever wanted and then take it away all at once. And that's why it's such a sport I love. I said it, I still love this game. But it's definitely one of those things where you go through all the emotions, and anger was one of them. But, at the end of the day, I take solace in the fact that we rose up. We had the best performance we could possibly have when it mattered most, when the intensity and the immense pressure was on. My team, myself, everyone rose up. And I'll tell you a story. With 6 to go, I'm in the car, right? And I'm literally going through the backstretch, sort of straight away through the oval portion. And I said to myself, hey, Parker, you've got to find more. I don't know where it is, but you got to find it. Like, if you want this, you've got to find it. And then we repassed Sam Mayer when he got below us, and then started to drive away from him. And I was like, hey, bud, you found more. Awesome. Good job. And so it was just, we always say in the TV world, we're like, hey, there's these people, they can rise up, they can find more. And some people are like, I don't know, it's just driving race cars. They're all trying as hard as they can. Trust me. In that moment, I found more.
That's awesome.
And that was something I didn't even know I had.
Well, I always say what matters more is who you are, not what you do. And I think what we saw this weekend, Parker, was a true reflection of who you are. And so I think that's why so many people connected with you. Have you gone back and watched it? How many times do you look at that photo and realize and then we'll move off of this because I want to know about Parker Kligerman too. I promise this is the last question.
Shannon, I appreciate it. No, it's all right. It's all right. I did go back and watch it. No, I absolutely did. And I appreciate the call from, my buddies in the broadcast team there, Steve Lachart and Jeff Byrd and Rick Allen. I thought they called it great. And, the part that's cool to me is, and so many came up to me, was, it was visible how hard I was trying, right? And it was visible,
Yeah.
awesome show between Sam, myself, AJ. We were all on the ragged edge, giving everything we had. Everything we had, right? And it's one of those moments in racing that you're in the moment, and I could see it on the big screen, so which was very distracting, by the way, because that big screen is when you have a bright orange race car and you're leading the race. Every time you come through 3 and 4, you're looking at it, and I'm like, please turn that off. Turn it off. I don't want to look at this. But it was, it was just one of those moments that was so intense, and we were all visibly trying as hard as we could, and just giving everything we had. And gosh, I mean, I found that to be a beautiful thing. And I'm very grateful and lucky to have been a part of it and had the opportunity to be in that position. And our team, I just keep going back though. Our team, we all rose up in a way that it's a really cool feeling to know that when everything was against you and when you had everything on the line and your whole season's on the line, we could rise up and put a performance like that. And the result doesn't define us, and it won't define my time at Big Machine Racing. It won't define me as a driver, but I think that performance is something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
How are you going to approach the next couple of weeks, right? Because we know that you're walking away from full-time racing at the end of this season. And I mean, I know we never say the R word in racing, but how do you, what's your focus over the next couple of weeks?
Winning. I think, Shannon, it's just, I want to get one so bad. I've tried this for over 15 years of trying to win the Xfinity race. Who tries anything with as little success as I've had and keeps going? I don't know. But
Michael Waltrip, maybe Michael Waltrip.
Maybe Michael Waltrip. Yeah. It's a good point. So I don't know, but it's at the end of the day, we all want to win really, really badly. And I just want to get that done for Scott and Spike Coolers, everyone who supported us at Big Machine Racing and made this possible for the last 2 years. This was such a gift in my life. It was it was something that was completely unexpected. It was a flyer for me to change my life and to do this and go back full-time racing and take a huge leap of faith. And so we've done everything. We've gotten them in the playoffs. We've gotten them in the owners playoffs. We've built this race team into a team that can run at the front and compete for wins and compete for championships. And my one final goal and the one thing that we haven't, the box we haven't checked is win a race. Mm-hmm. We were a couple feet from doing it. But I would love to get that done. I think Vegas and Homestead are huge opportunities for us. The last two, those will be tough. Martinsville's not my best. Phoenix is not my best. But if we could, I think if we could finally break through, even after this, it would be, such a seminal moment. And that's my focus, is just try to win a race. And obviously we can finish 5th in points, which would be huge. We finished 9th or 10th last year. Any higher in the points would be a great way to finish this.
What do you have planned? Listen, I looked up your Wikipedia today, and I can't believe you're one of the busiest men in all of racing. So when I ask you this, it's sort of like a vague question. What do you have planned for life after Phoenix? Again, I know we don't say the R word, so I won't.
It's okay. I'm not ashamed of it.
No, because I feel like drivers never really do retire, because if there's an opportunity for you to get back in the car, you're going to be like, okay, I'll do it. I know I retired, but
I won't. I think for sure I got asked that a lot. Will you go full-time race again? No matter what, no. It's time. It's just, this has been such a life commitment. And I've had to, sacrifice a lot of things, a lot of time with family and be on the road so much. And I don't know if that will change, but in terms of just having to be in North Carolina so much and that sort of thing, definitely that will change. So I'd like to race a little bit. I'd like to dabble. I'd like to do a couple here and there. I'm working on trying to do the Rolex 24, which would be amazing.
Oh, how cool.
That's a bucket list item for me. And then obviously the TV side, we'll see what comes about. But I tell people I could be working more than I ever have or less. I have no idea. So we'll see.
Oh, believe me, I know exactly how that is, Parker. Thank you for being so vulnerable and allowing us to share that moment with you. And thank you for being so badass on the racetrack in those closing laps and let us share that moment with you as well. It was the range of emotion for all of us that were watching you as well. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, Shannon. It means a lot. And, I said before, but it's been so flattering and just an incredible feeling to have so much support from the sport and from the fans and from legends of the sport who've come and talked to me and reached out. And so many people called me, and I really, really, truly appreciate it. Because I think sometimes, when you do something like this, as long as I have, you kind of wonder at times, well, do I even matter to this deal? Does anyone care I'm here? And then, you just go through something like this and you see the outpouring support. that has meant the world. And I'm a kid who saw this sport on TV when I was 9 years old, and all I wanted to do was become a professional race car driver, and I've gotten to do that for over 15 years. And it's been the most beautiful, amazing journey I could ever have imagined. Not as successful as I hope, but I, as I said before, results don't define me. And just having been here and had the opportunity to be in this position has been the most amazing thing in the world. So thank you. And thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is a cool show. I love what you guys are doing. I've been watching the NASCAR Dailies. So I'm a fan. I'm a viewer. Keep it up. I love it.
We're going to put a little drop there, right there. We'll kind of drop it everywhere. Go get you a W, dude. And thanks again.
Appreciate it, Shannon. Thank you.